who's right here. We can unmute him for a second. How you doing, William?
Pretty good.
Cool, man. So why don't you just tell the folks about how all this started?
Well, that's a good question. Um, well, I've been a big fan of Jesse since I couldn't talk. So, I've been listening to this stuff. I never really knew he picked the guitar, and I found this video on it. So I thought it was easy, and he's not really a guitar player. It could be that hard. Yeah, he's like one of the best guitar players in the world. I can't figure it out.
He is, and not a lot of people know that because his just oh, here he is. Jesse McReynolds has entered the waiting room. Yeah, we are just talking about you, Jesse. Okay, cool. All right. So here we go. The maestro. There he is. All right, cool. So, we'll just go to Jesse. And so anyway, so William sent me a message about learning this tune, and then it was just so hard. We worked on it for about an hour, and hey Jesse,
Hey,
welcome. You're if you can Joe, I don't know if you're there, but if you can turn Jesse's camera to the yep, we're turning it. We're getting there. We're getting there.
okay now.
Okay, let's see. We're turning it. We're getting. Oh, there we go. Excellent. Okay,
All
so
right.
we're getting all squared away. Hopefully his video is going to come back here. There we go. Cool. So and Joey, I don't know if it's easy. It's vertical now, but if you can change it to landscape, then we'll be able to see more of the guitar. There we go. Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. Perfect. There we go. How's it going, Jesse?
I'm doing pretty good.
Excellent. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining us, and thanks to all the
Well,
folks who are
I,
here. We got
I,
about
I
13 people. Sorry.
go ahead, talking. I said I'm anxious to go if I can go.
Yeah.
I said, well, last time we done one of these was about the guy that supposed to write a book on me about the, my Grateful Dead thing. And
Oh, right. That was such a smart thing that you did there. I remember when we talked in Nashville, you said that was just such a big commercial success.
yeah, I've been getting quite a bit of publicity lately from on Bluegrass Unlimited, and uh, I don't know. All of a sudden, it's all about me. I,
No, it's about time. You are
I'm
such a
almost for this.
such a rare genius, and I'm so tickled we get to hear a little bit about your guitar picking. Before we get started, I just I don't even know. Were there folks in your family that were playing music that you learned to play and sing from?
uh, I didn't do much singing. My family did. My grandfathers, uh, my uncles, all of them, they played the instrumental music. That's the reason they played the Bull Mountain Moonshiners. That was their name of their band.
Oh wow.
I wrote a song and put it in the album. I did a tribute album to my grandfather about his fiddle and everything, and and I wrote a song called the Bull Mountain Moonshiners Way. That was the title of their band, the Moonshiners, Moonshine, uh, Bull Mountain Moonshiners.
That is fantastic. I need to check that out. So there was a fiddler in the band, and also some folks might not know that you're a great fiddler too. Did you learn to Did you learn to play by ear?
Oh yeah, that's it. That's it. That's the only way I knew.
How important do you feel like it is to learn bluegrass by ear?
Well, uh, it wasn't too hard, but it's complicated really. Everybody does their own thing that way. So
Yeah,
it's it's good to be able to work on
Sorry.
stuff like that
Get it out of here.
that you
Sorry.
think about and start working on it, and all this stuff comes to you. All the stuff that I come up with, I didn't I didn't listen to anybody else do it. I just created it myself from.
absolutely. So if you were going to give like a couple of tips to folks who are trying to start being creative, what do you reckon you'd suggest?
Well, I was suggesting on the my time my time's running out.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Yeah, go for it.
I was just playing on the guitar, I I run the bass down. That's how I run it down to do that tune. And then I found out I could hit a full chord and go all the way down with it. Yeah. So you learn to hit a lot of open chords that will fit into the run that you're trying to do. So that's what I try to do, and with put the run in the. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just picking the guitar and sitting on the bus and seeing what could come to me, and
And you
it.
said that somebody was in the bunk listening, wasn't they?
I had never heard it before, so I started doing this. So
That is so good. And didn't you say that Garland or somebody was laid up in the bunk and you thought they were
well,
maybe asleep?
Arlen Shuping was our banjo player, and I was sitting on the bus. It was between a festival where we were playing, and Garland was laying on the bunk, uh, and he had the door open back there on the bus, and I was playing on this thing. got started on it, and I said, and Garland got up. I said, Garland, are you sleeping? He said, no, I just been listening to the darndest guitar player that I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Because I said, well, I just discovered this thing that if I could find a song to go with it. So I wrote the song to go with it.
That is so amazing. And so how did you, like, do you remember how that kind of came? Did all the verses and the melodies just come?
Well, it was about our home place.
Which is Coburn, Virginia, is that right? Southwest Virginia?
Our home in Virginia, where the old red barn was about to fall, which was all this happened.
So it's real. I mean, like, so when people are thinking about how do I write a song, you're writing something that was real
Yeah,
from your
go
heart.
back, and the barn is finally gone.
Wow.
Nothing there but weeds and trees growed up.
That is profound. I think a lot of people, if they start to write a song, there's, oh, well, let me think about what sounds country or something like that. But maybe they need to do a little bit more listening to their heart and finding where their emotions are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just come to me, and I wrote, that's how I write a lot of stuff. I just write what comes to me. I don't try to say I'm going to write songs today or something, but I never was good at going in the studio and doing a day job like writing songs. It's your job, but I just write things that comes to me.
Yeah. Can you show the beautiful runs that come down with the chords, and then you had a little bit of really tricky business once you got down to the D chord. You had a little run that came all the way down to you had some backward slides and stuff like that. Do you remember how that went?
Yeah, yeah. I first got it. I running the bass down, and this came to me yesterday when I started playing on it. If I run the bass down, I can do the whole run all the way down there with open strings. It's right open. Instead of doing the roll, you could just take the whole thing. It's a D chord where it's at.
And then it got really tricky down from there. I can't do it, but it's something like.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
There's so many ways you can get into it. You go to C there.
That is just one of the coolest runs I've ever heard in my life. Can you do that one more time?
You can tell I've not been playing guitar lately.
No worries.
Let's see.
Cool. That's gonna help us figure that out. That is so amazing. And did all that just kind of fall onto your fingers when you were playing on the bus there?
Oh yeah, I just fell in there. I was playing guitar quite a bit then, just trying to figure out some things. In fact, I did a guitar album of cross picking with.
William shared that. This is so cool. And you said that when you play that on the Opry, folks like Leon would come out and watch you play that.
Yeah, Leon appreciated what I was doing. He was one of the few people that noticed what I was doing. And of course, we knew Jimmy Capps. Well, we knew him a long time ago when he worked with the Louvin brothers. And
Yeah, you know it's some serious guitar business when heavy cats like that are coming to look at it.
yeah, that they would come out and watch me play every time I took the guitar out there. They thought I was doing something unusual, I guess.
That is
But
just so amazing. I remember you mentioned the kickoff to Paradise. Is that in drop D two or is that in a different tuning?
no, it's the same tuning. Yeah.
Would you give a go on that one?
Uh, let's see. I'd have to work on that a little bit.
No worries, no worries. I was just checking in on that. We did have a question that came in. Clifton was asking, can you tell us who was playing the fiddle on Limehouse Blues? Do you remember that?
Jimmy it might have been Jim Buchanan or Vassar Clemens. I think Vassar Clemens. He played quite a bit with me.
Okay, Vassar. There we go. Yeah, and Jim Buchanan, of course, another just seminal, amazing musician, still out in Tennessee. Jesse, what's your favorite? Like, if you had like a top 3 or 5 Jim and Jesse classic songs that you love the most, what would they be?
Oh, I've been listening to stuff we done back the in the era when I was doing this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I would just pick up the guitar, and I played fiddle. Played fiddle more than anything, and I heard some fiddle players, and I said I can't keep up with these people. And I had Glenn Duncan. He was one of the amazing fiddle players. We used to go on the road and stay on the road for a week at a time. He'd come. We'd get back home at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and we'd take Glenn off at his house. He said, well, at 3 o'clock in the morning, he said, I'll go and practice for about 2 hours before I go to bed. So to hear somebody that was interested in
Jeepers, that was commitment.
yeah, he was a genius when it comes to a fiddle player. And I had Travis Wet, so he was in a different field. He was more of a Mark O'Connor type fiddle player. Yeah.
Yeah.
He could, yeah. So I just listened to different people and see what I could come up with. But I wouldn't try to learn certain notes from people. I'd just try to find it on the guitar or whatever.
Yeah.
And just hoping it would work out. So
Yeah,
come,
persistence. I think a lot of people think that playing music is a big dream and everything, and of course there are some of those highlight moments and rainbows and all that kind of stuff. But well, what are a couple of the most major challenges that you found in your long 50-year career playing music? What are a couple of the biggest challenges that you had to overcome?
the biggest challenge I have now is the fact that after I get older, my hands don't work like they used to. It's just not there.
Well, for
Like,
folks that don't know, Jesse is 91 years old, and his spirit is so strong. And I believe you were in the hospital, but you come out strong, and you look great. And we're
well,
just so happy.
yeah, I'm still not over the aneurysm thing I had. To the doctor, every time I do go get just checked with the doctor. He tells me, he said, you know you're supposed to die.
Oh my gosh, I don't think so.
When he put me to sleep at the hospital, he said, if we don't get this thing fixed, he said, you're going to die.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't know they had a guy that way, but we turned out to be good friends because he actually saved my life. I think when I
Oh my
did.
gosh. Yes, thank you, Holy Spirit, for the good doctors that have saved Jesse's life. We're just so glad to have you and everything that you've done. Would you care to share a couple of, one of my favorite things about bluegrass music and just music business in general are the funny stories. Do you have a couple of funny stories that the folks might love to hear?
We could be here a while.
I got quite a few of them.
If one comes to mind, we'd love to hear a good chuckle.
Yeah. Think of excuse me, I got to blow my nose here a little bit.
No worries. I remember one time that I grew up in Winchester, Virginia, and there's the Apple Blossom Festival there, and y'all were scheduled to come into town, and this is just part of the music business. It's y'all came into town, but no one had told you, I guess, that the festival was at a different location, and
yeah.
so y'all you remember that?
I sure do. I don't remember all the details, but I remember being at the Blossom Festival. I knew we had a problem getting to the right place.
Y'all got there and put on an amazing show, and just so professional and so smooth with the presentation. Y'all always looked so good. Things have changed so much in Nashville and in bluegrass music. Do you have any thoughts on how things have changed for the better and how things have changed for the worse, and maybe what you'd like to see more of in bluegrass?
It's nothing like it used to be, because there's so much talent out there now, and there's no place to play. With this virus and everything, it's closed everything down. I haven't even been on the Grand Ole Opry
since last March.
Almost a year now. Be a year next month.
Wow, I'm sure they miss you, and I sure miss you hearing you play off. Go ahead. Sorry.
I said I was there long enough to be the oldest member of the Grand Ole Opry.
Wow, no kidding. What an honor that is.
Remember that for my birthday.
Yo, when is your birthday? When do you turn 92?
My birthday is in July, but my opera debut
anniversary
thing at the opera. I've been there, I think, 57 years now. So yeah, I'm the oldest one after Jan Howard passed away.
Oh,
me and her boat. But that's what I tell the manager at the opera. Well, I said I'm thankful I made it to be the oldest member at the Grand Ole Opry.
That is just amazing.
So I don't know.
We had a question here. Clifton wanted to know if you might tell us how you hold your pick while you're doing the cross picking, and how you shift your picking depending on what you're playing, and if you anchor your hand at all.
Well, I used to. I put two-way tape on my pick.
Oh, is that a fact?
Oh, really?
Wow, you put tape on your pick.
So now I can do anything with it.
Wow, well, that's a little secret there.
That's one of the secrets of not dropping your pick at the wrong time.
Wow, that's a nice one. That's great to learn.
Easy to put two-way tape on there, just it's just sticky enough to hold it, but it won't. My pick keeps turning around if I don't put that on there.
The tricks of the trade. Hey, I wanted to ask you about something. In the early '80s, you appeared on the Master of Bluegrass album with Bill Monroe. Do you remember much about that session and how that came to be?
You mean Bean Blossom?
No, it was a recording session that Walter Haynes produced for Bill Monroe's album, The Master of Bluegrass. I think you played maybe Evening Prayer Blues.
I remember doing the session. Walter Haynes produced it, and after I think we did something called the Music City Waltz or something like that, and he played the tune back for Bill. One of those tunes we did, and Bill just didn't like it at all, and he would tell you. He told, what's wrong with the sound? He said, this ain't there. I didn't see that much wrong with it myself because I've been doing a lot of sessions with a lot of people, but when Bill's sound didn't sound right, well, he lets you know about it. He let everybody know about it.
Oh wow, yeah. I don't even remember the Music City Waltz. Did you get along pretty good with Bill? Because y'all were kind of, of course, in bluegrass, completely different styles.
I feel good. And he and Jim always kidded each other. We'd go down to the Opry, and Jim would speak to Bill, and he'd look at me and he'd say, "If you ever get your guitar player, you'll be all right."
Love that. I thought Jim was just such a smooth, amazing guitar player. When you get to see Jim again in heaven, what's the first song you want to sing with him?
Oh, Paradise, I guess.
Paradise, nice one.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest songs we had there for in our career at that time. Because I was surprised that some of the songs we'd come up with, people would give them to Jim sometimes, and he wouldn't say anything to me about it until he had it worked out. He'd say, "Listen, I think we're going to do this song," and Cotton Mill Man was one of them.
Fantastic song.
I said, I didn't think you was going to do that song. He said, "Yeah, I got it worked out." That's how we had the arrangement on that.
Wow. So he would work it up and then present it once he was comfortable with it. Hey.
Oh yeah, yeah. We had a pretty funny operation back. Me and Jim did, trying to work out things together. we'd have a word or two or I'd do something he don't like, which I did a lot of things he didn't like. But he would say something to me about it, and I'd just turn and walk away and go to the back of the bus. And he did a lot of the driving, so that's how we stayed apart.
some good space, makes for good fences, make good neighbors. Tom Gray is here with us, amazing bass player, of course, and he had a question about your split string work. He said you blew his mind when he heard your solo on "Grave in the Valley." Is there anything you can tell us about how you started doing the split string stuff?
That was one of the first songs. The first song I used it on "Grave in the Valley." I think Don McCann wrote that song, and I had done it before on Capitol Records. First session we ever did. We did "Just Wondering Why," and I used split string to kick it off on that record. That was the first time I ever played it that way, and I used it on quite a few kickoffs after that. And if we'd find a song, if I could find the split string place, why I would stick my artificial nail on there and hope it stays. But I've had a lot. I had one to flip off one time right on the stage, and I remember this lady.
Maybe just two-sided tape on that one.
She brought up from the audience, and she made sure she grabbed that pick.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It fell almost off the stage, just far enough to she could come out of the audience and come up and get that pick. She probably still got it.
That's so funny. We'll see it on eBay here, so just want to, for all the new folks that are just joining, Jesse is on the cover right now of Bluegrass Unlimited, so make sure you check that out. And also go to jimandjesse.com and you can check out all the recordings. What's your latest album out, Jesse?
The Bull Mountain Moonshiners.
Okay, there we go.
Hold up the thing behind you there.
I've got one here somewhere, I think.
Right there, honey.
And we don't want to take too much of Jesse's time, but if there are anybody got a question, you can just raise your hand if you want to ask a question to Jesse, and we'll put you right on here. We've taken a few through the chat box. All right, there it is, right there.
Oh, it's Fiddle that he played on the Bristol Sessions in 19 and 27, and I acquired that fiddle after all of my uncles on my grandfather's side passed away.
Wow, that's fantastic.
I wrote that song about the Bull Mountain Moonshiner's Way.
Wow, everybody wants to go check out that. Bev's got a question. Go ahead, Bev.
I played some different fiddle on it.
Yeah, this is actually Jesse. I was using Bev's.
Oh, sorry, Jesse. Go ahead.
That's okay. I just wanted to say hi, and I had a brother named Jim too, and we play music, and I just wondered how it was with him and his brother.
Oh yeah, well, we got along better than most brothers did, because I have to say that we did have a pretty good relationship. Jim had talked about have trouble with his wife or something, a few words, and he'd say, "You want to take this band over?"
Oh,
it never came to that.
No.
yeah.
We all put up with each other. If we have a few words, like I talked about, I'd go to back and get my mandolin out and just pick my way out of this thing.
Pick your way out of it. I love that. That's so great. Clifton's got a question. He's got his hand up. Thank you, Jesse, for that. Let's go to Clifton here. I'll just try to get you unmuted, and you can ask. Jesse, go ahead, Clifton.
Good evening, Jesse, and I just want to let you know what a huge privilege it is to talk to you, or even listen to you, for that matter. But I just wanted to revisit your hand, and I wondered, while you were cross picking, do you lay like a pinky down on the mandolin on the top there to kind of give yourself a reference point, or were you a floater?
I tried it 2 or 3 different ways, but I had a hard time figuring out what to do with my hand, because I had to have it resting somewhere. Like banjo players, they rest their hand on the
skin,
on the fingerboard or anything, or the top of whatever. And I was trying to find a place to put my hand rest by. I finally got it resting just on the bridge. This way, I killed a lot of tone on the mandolin that way.
Oh.
Sometimes I would try to keep my hand off the bridge, or keep it on there hard enough to kill the tone.
I never thought you killed much tone. That thing must have had a lot of tone, because you really. And what was it, by the way? What was that mandolin?
I had,
Oh, you had several over the years?
pictures, and I said, what mandolin did I have, So,
I'm sorry.
Your mandolin?
I'll show you the one that the last one I've been playing.
Now it sounds like we're getting the mandolin zipped.
I'll tell you this, though, Jesse, you are one of the most frustrating players for me to try to copy ever. I cannot even get close. It drives me crazy. You're just so unique in your approach.
Well, frankly, I drive myself. I play. I said, I hope I can do that when I'm 100, but I'm afraid I won't be able to do it. But it's just this is a thing Lou Stiver made for me.
Stiver, cool.
I stick my pick under the string, and I do a lot of stuff like that just to fill in on a tune. Well, I had Jim take lead on some of them. I'd try to do some crazy stuff behind it, and I never knew what I was going to do until they turned the machine on. So
now, when you were just starting to develop that, would you just try different positions and just see how it sounded?
Yeah, first thing I ever done it on was "Are You Missing Me," and that was first time we recorded for Capitol Records, and I don't know, I wasn't trying to do anything that odd, but and now people say, can you play that Are You Missing Me for me? But I have to do it real slow.
Yeah, please.
as you see, I hadn't been practicing much lately.
It's still beautiful. You got the ring going. Now, here's a question. I never heard anybody mention if you played the banjo. Do you play banjo?
Well, I had Tim Ellis worked with us some, and I had a banjo traded Carl Jackson out of when he was working with us, and I I tried to learn some tunes. I learned 2 or 3 tunes that I could play. Just play a slow roll like this. What I was trying to do there, but I just said Tim stayed with me here at the house a long time because he lived in Ohio, and he stayed over a lot of times. And where we had a lot of work to go on the road with and everything. And me and him just sat down in my living room, and I got the banjo out. And he was doing this album, and I wrote one called Chink Up Ridge or something like that. And he recorded that tune. I just wrote it in my living room, and he put it down. And then he did. I said, recorded that album. I picked out most of the tunes that he put on it.
Wow. So you wrote it on the banjo and he recorded it.
Yeah. And
wow. That's cool.
He did Roadside Rag, and I played, me and Joe Meadows played twin fiddles on some of it. But,
wow.
But I never did get it. The only thing I was interested in the banjo was learning the backwards roll. Didn't realize then that Hope Jenkins was our banjo player. He was Sonny Snuffy Jenkins' nephew, I think it was.
Oh, cool.
And we went to work with him in Augusta, Georgia, and I didn't realize that there was more ways than one to play the banjo roll. And everything he played the backward roll.
Wow.
And even the first re-recording we did on Are You Missing Me? And we went down to saw Ken Nelson at Capitol Records, and went over some tunes with him at the hotel. And he said, what's the banjo going to do? I said, well, we really wasn't going to use the banjo, this background, you know. He said, well, that's what I put you on Capitol Records for the banjo. Earl Rose had just come up and was doing all this stuff, you know. Yeah. And I didn't realize Hoke was doing it backwards. That's the reason he couldn't do a lot of things that banjo players was doing. That Don Reno and but Hoke had a brother, a younger brother that could play the forward roll. So we got him to help us do some of our recordings we did on Capitol Records, because he could play anything, because he did the forward roll all the time. So
now when you, sorry, go ahead.
That's how I developed the cross picking the backwards way, because that's the way Hoke played it. I was doing it the same way he was.
Interesting. I find that the backward roll is a little bit more unpredictable and kind of, kind of touches the ear in a really interesting way. Of course, it's exceedingly difficult to figure out. Now, when you started doing that, did the producers at Capitol Records, did they get it? Did they realize how special and amazing it was at the beginning, or did it take some time for them to realize how good it was?
No, I didn't get no comment on it. I mean,
wow. Isn't that just the music business for you? Come up with something revolutionary, people are like,
I went for a long time that I thought, well, Jim would tell me. He said, I don't know what you're trying to do, but I don't think it's going to work.
Really? But you kept with it. Oh, my gosh.
You know, Jim didn't think I was doing anything unusual, but I thought it was. And I said, maybe we'll catch on sometime. So 50 years later, I was still doing it.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Jesse, up in the left-hand corner here, had one more question. We'll get him unmuted. Go ahead, Jesse.
Yeah, I just wondered if he remembered. I met him a few years ago and had I think it's called a mandola that someone had made for him. And he didn't care for it, so he sold it back to somebody. And anyway, I have that, and I just wondered if I brought it and showed it to him. I just wondered if he remembered that.
Yeah, I wish you had it. You don't have it to show me now. I did one album with that Mandalobro thing. I was in a pawn shop in Atlanta, Georgia, and I run across this thing. I said, "It's a pretty thing," and I said, "I think I'll just buy it for the looks of it, you know." And and I put it, and I bought the Echoplex just came out at that time, and I started running that thing through an Echoplex. Chet Atkinson was doing a lot of stuff like that. Like you hit one lick, you get three.
Wow.
Cross picking, I'd have all kind of things going.
Oh my God, yeah, 9 notes at once.
I did a whole album, and in fact, I talked to a boy yesterday. He said, "I've still got that Echoplex." He said, "I put a new tape on it and everything." I said, "I wish you'd bring it back and let me look at it." I said, "I'd like to hook it up again, see if I could do some more of that stuff." Because it sounded like I was flying with my crossfade, because getting one lick and three would come out through the amplifier.
That's amazing. Hey, Jesse, what are your favorite, if you had like, to kind of pick, 2 or 3 of your favorite instrumentals, what would they be?
Well, instrumental, the
Okeechobee Windmate.
it would be the one I did in Big Stone Gap, Virginia. It's just called McReynolds Mammoth Picking. I had my friend up there had a studio in Big Stone, and
This one?
And this is it here. It's
That's just new out. You just had that put on CD.
But I had it on a record, and just a minute. It's got "Love Is Blue," and one I called "Showboat Ride," and then "Somewhere My Love," and "Mandolin Ramble," "Crazy Arms." I had a steel guitar and everything on it. I was going to dub my fiddle part of it, and I got down to doing the thing in the studio, and first thing happened, my fingernail wore out right in the middle of "Somewhere My Love" or something I was doing, and I had to go down to the drugstore in Big Stone Gap, and I said, "You got any artificial nails?" Finally, I said, I'm trying to do an album. I said, my fingernail wore out. So I bought a whole box of fingernails and right in the middle of our studio session when I did that. But it turned out to be a pretty good album. And
Cool.
I was going to put the fiddle on it, and I couldn't get my fiddle to work right. My fiddle playing just wasn't that good to put on record. I didn't think. And I got this boy from East Tennessee to come over to the studio and dub fiddle on the record. He was a good fiddle player. I can't even Keith. I can't remember his name now because it's been about 40 years.
Is it in here? Written in here?
Yeah.
We got to autograph it anyway. So.
While y'all getting that unwrapped, I want to bring Jeremy Stevens on here because he is the fellow with Echoplex, and I just wanted to welcome Jeremy here because Jeremy and his wife Karina, they play with Jesse on the Opry, and just wanted to ask Jeremy if there's of course any questions you want to ask, but just besides that, anything that you wanted to kind of just share with regard to, because his music so well and the history, if there's anything that you wanted to share about Jesse that was just on your mind.
Yeah,
Jesse's howdy, Jesse. I just want to say Jesse McReynolds is one of the most genuine, kindest people that Karina and I have ever been around, and it's been an honor and a blessing in our life to just have been around Jesse as much as we have, and we love you, Jesse. And this is the Echoplex. I had it in the other room.
It's right there. How about that?
There it is. it's I hooked up an electric guitar to it yesterday. It's working good. So there it is.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. I'm glad it's working again. I've been listening to that album, and I'll let get you one of those albums. It's got some wild stuff on it. But we did Rose City Chimes. I, I would hit one lick on that thing, and three would come out, and I was doing some wild stuff. I know Lloyd Green was playing steel on it, and he said, "What are you going to call this album?" And I said, "Well, we hadn't figured out what we're going to call it." He said, "Why don't you call it Jim and Jesse Plays Hell Out of Country?"
That'd be the truth.
Green and original Junior Husky, and I think there was. I had another guitar player on it. He was trying to plug it through the Echoplex too. He's trying to do some wild stuff. Of course, Chet Adkins, the one used to start. He started doing all that stuff. I used to do on stage quite a bit. We played some stuff with Hank Jr. when he first started traveling, and I was playing that Echoplex, and it's amazing how everybody in the band would come out and say, "What are you doing?" By getting all this stuff out of that little Echoplex.
I have a question about, because your creativity is so expansive, and you weren't like, you weren't confined to any ideas about, you weren't limited with anything, and of course, probably, you had Jim saying, "Hey, I don't think that cross picking is going to catch on," and all this kind of stuff, whatever. But what was it, about your connection with the music that just you didn't let nothing, you didn't let anything stop you from keeping creating just whatever was flowing?
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I really don't know. I just wanted to play music all the time, do something. I wanted to do something different. I he, I thought there should be some other way I could play fiddle, but I never had figured that out yet. But
Do you feel like music is a spiritual thing to you? Do you feel like a connection on that side of things with it?
yeah, everything I do has spiritual side to it. In fact, I tried to invent electric fiddle bow.
Wow.
Playing fiddle a little bit, but I never did get nobody to say, "I'd like for you to put a little motor on this thing, so the hair on the bow, you wouldn't have to push it here. You just lay it on there."
That
And
is so smart. You are such a genius. Oh my gosh. So how far did you get with that development?
I just never did think anybody would be interested. So, but I said, well,
If anybody's listening, electric fiddle bow, let's get that going.
somebody will do it probably one day, So,
That's right.
our conversation,
Yeah. Well, we've already gone over our 30 minutes. Thank you so much for all the time. If anybody got any last questions? Here's Tara Linhart coming in here. We still got a couple folks joining. If anybody's got any more questions, raise a hand up. I don't want to take too much of Jesse and Joy's time today, but this sure
You're
has
okay, Chris. As long as you're okay, he's okay.
okay.
You're-
Cool.
I didn't know. No, time's going to get by this fast.
Well, maybe we can go again sometime.
That would be nice.
Yeah. We. You have more question about the? I never did do go through that cross picking thing all the way.
Would love to hear it if you wanted to go for it.
Going through it. I get hung up with it. I got tired.
Me too, buddy. That is some of the coolest stuff. Those backward slides. That is so. That is just such a creative thing.
Is when right in the middle of it, you go to C.
Wow.
In fact, I wrote a tune called the Turkey Derby.
Turkey Derby.
This guy wrote the notes for the album. He said, I can see that a big turkey running around a racetrack somewhere.
That's on this one.
Yeah, and but this guy used to run a TV station in Pennsylvania. His name was Nelson Sears. And I talked to him the other night on the phone, and he's in a nursing home now, and I don't think he ever realized who I was.
Aww.
But we were good friends. We used to write songs together, and he was the manager of our TV shows.
Okay, that's right. And y'all worked a good bit down in Florida, is that right? Were y'all living in Live Oak?
Yeah, we were living in Live Oak when we moved from Live Oak 50 miles north to Valdosta, Georgia, and that's when Martha White found us down there.
Okay, cool.
Well, Jim was always trying to keep us sponsored. We're sponsored by mobile homes and milk companies and anything that we could get to pay the bills and everything. So that's when Martha White came down. We was working for Crestview Mobile Homes. They got started a mobile home place in McReynolds, Florida, and put us on television. And he had one lot he started, and in 2 years later, he had about 30 lots, mobile homes, and he was every weekend we'd play it in one of his mobile homes. He'd have open houses and everything, and I think Charlie Moore used to. I think he came down. There's a lot of people on to Florida after we went down there and started doing television shows.
Yeah, I just think that's so interesting that your band was just super on fire, but yet at the time, before the folk kind of revolution, there just wasn't that much demand for commercial,
That's what Alan Shelton.
the folks who love bluegrass music, they didn't have a lot of money.
The last few interviews we had, Alan, big thing was he said, well, we had it back then, but nobody wanted it.
Oh my gosh. We had it back then, but nobody wanted it. Oh my gosh. But so that you were able to find some sponsorships and gosh, that's just so interesting that the perseverance you must have had to keep going.
Sponsors to take care of our band and everything.
Yeah.
I keep on my nose keeps dripping on. That's what
I want to bring William Lawson on here. William and I've been working on my time is running out, and I want to see how he's going with it. I'm trying to unmute you. How you doing, William?
Good.
How's that intro coming together? Have you got it? You want to play it for Jesse?
Okay.
Cool. So we'll see how close we got. We worked on it for an hour, then I worked on it for a little hour. I broke it down into little segments. I sent it to him, and he's just so good. We'll see how he's got. He had it mostly going, but we want to see how it's going right now. Go for it, William.
Yeah, no pressure. Play it for Jesse.
Listen.
Hang on.
That's all right, but it sounds so good.
I know.
Yeah. Fantastic, buddy.
But that's good, man.
That's beautiful.
Just keep that right hand going.
That's good.
There's 2 or 3 ways you can do that rundown up there. That's reason I have a hard time getting this hand connected with this on that.
Yeah.
On that. It's so many different ways that it comes to me. I'll do it one way and come back 5 minutes later and do it some other way, So
I love that, and what a good example that is for folks just to be, have that in their mind about creativity. It's like you don't necessarily want to play it the same way every time. Every day's different, and so different things are going to be popping out. William, is there anything you want to say to Jesse while we got the moment?
Um, well, thank you for doing the Zoom thing, and you're awesome.
Oh,
Well, thank you, man. I sure appreciate it. Good to see you doing that. Just keep. How old are you?
How old are you?
I'm 14.
Well, oh,
got a whole new career
you,
ahead of you.
you got a big career ahead of you there if you keep this up. I've been thinking about uh, do some video workshops and things on the cross picking thing. I've never done that as far as uh, doing it commercially, but I think I've got more fans now than I had when I was on the Grand Ole Opry, regular, me and Jim too. So it's like it just keeps.
Took a long time for them to figure out what you were doing.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we're still trying to figure it out. I would love to talk with you about the possibility of doing a mandolin workshop. Because that would be fantastic. Get some more folks in here, more mandolin pickers, and you could share some of your secrets. Was that something we could talk about?
Oh yeah, we'll try that. And
fantastic.
I was talking to a friend of mine here in Gallatin that having at my birthday this year or next year one at a. Of course, I probably need to do it this year, but I wanted to see if he'd be interested in doing cross pick just to make birthday.
Yeah, that sounds
good. Invite all the mandolin pickers all over the country to come to us,
Oh gosh, that'd be fantastic.
He's got a place here that he does weddings and everything.
Yeah.
A good to do it. I said, we may have something going there. I don't know. But
yeah, absolutely. Well, Jesse, thank you so much for taking this time to visit with all of us. You have just really blessed us, and I just like to say a little prayer real quick to the Holy Spirit to bless Jesse with and Joy and all their family with protection, and just thanking the Holy Spirit so much for everything you put in his heart and their hearts, and keeping him here on the earth and being able to join us here. And just thank you so much for all the music from Jesse and Jim from the bottom of our hearts. And so thank you, Holy Spirit, for that. And yeah, so maybe we can head towards a mandolin workshop or something like that. But y'all get the Bluegrass Unlimited magazine, the cover story on Jesse there, and check out jimandjesse.com. Of course, there's tons of good stuff on YouTube, and we'll look forward to visiting with you again before long, and we'll put this up on YouTube. So if there's anybody that y'all want to tell about the interviews, that can check it out. You can watch it later, and just thank you so much, Jesse. Appreciate this so much.
We appreciate it. We appreciate you interest in my picking and everything, and I'm glad we got to do this, and I hope we can do it again.
Absolutely. You're the best. Lots of love to you and Joy, and we'll be in touch soon. And thank you, everybody, for signing on here.
Thank you.
I'll see if I can grease up this right.
Yeah, that sounds great. We'll talk soon. Thank y'all again.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Honey, that was great. You did swell.